So we're joined by my friend Veronica Woods, graduate of Canton High School and Belhaven University, talent acquisition manager for Trustmark Bank.
Partner,
Over two
partner, talent
partner. I
acquisition partner.
apologize. Yeah, she's a partner, not a manager. But over 2 decades of HR experience, seen thousands of resumes, cover letters, set in numerous interviews. And we thank you so much for joining us. I got a room full here with me at Velma Jackson. This is our personal finance class, and we're recording this for all of our friends in Madison County Schools, Germantown High School, Ridgeland High School, Madison Central High School, the Academic Options Center, and we'll send this to our good friends over at Canton High School as well, your alma mater. So we thank you so much for taking some time for us today.
Good morning. Good morning. I appreciate you guys having me. And tell me, what's this class again? You mentioned finance.
Personal finance. But before you make the money, you've got to get the job to make the money. So we've really focused on cover letters, resumes, interviews, and all the things that people like you that are making the hiring decisions for these great companies are seeing and noticing and paying attention to.
Absolutely. So I will introduce myself first. But again, thank you guys for having me. I have a very strong passion for helping others and especially find their career paths, career choices, your passion, your purpose, what you enjoy doing, and turning that into money. Because there's nothing like enjoying what you do every day. I am excited every day I wake up to come to work because it doesn't feel like work for me because it's my passion and my purpose. But my name is Veronica Woods. I am from the great city of lights, Canton, Mississippi, home of the Tigers. And like me and Mr. Piggott were discussing, it's a friendly rivalry between Velma Jackson and Canton, but I have a deep love for Velma Jackson. I have a lot of people that my best friend graduated from Velma Jackson. My best friend's mom was the band director at Velma Jackson, Miss Ellis. So I
Oh yeah,
have, yeah,
yeah.
yes, Miss
Miss
Ellis is
Daisy Ellis,
family
she's a
to
legend
me.
here. Yeah.
She's family to me. That's my godmother. So yes, I have a strong love for VJ. But I want to share with you guys from being a native of an area close by to Camden, Mississippi, and also from that's from a personal perspective, but also from a career and professional perspective. I'm from Canton. I'm from what they call the area by the old projects, which is basically the hood. It's still a lot of crime in Canton, and I know they're working to combat some of that. But I grew up in a very impoverished area where you had to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and decide, hey, I want more than my surrounding area. Now, growing up in a tough environment made me who I am, and it made me resilient, it made me strong, but it also made me appreciate the people that came from nothing but made something out of nothing. And I'm a product of that and proud to be a product of that. I want to share with you guys that I am a corporate recruiter with Trustmark. My official title is Talent Acquisition Partner, which is just a fancy way to say recruiter. I handle recruiting for a lot of departments, wealth management. I do a little bit of retail. I do a lot of commercial banking, recruiting. I do IT. I do corporate treasury. I do investment banking, all sorts of recruiting. When people think of the bank, they think of a branch. A bank is so much more than a branch. We have almost 3,000 employees, which means 3,000 positions. So,
Yeah.
and banking is a great career path. I kind of fell into it. It also chose me, but getting the job. So you guys are about to enter the real world. You are about to see, how we pay these bills and make it happen every day. But this is a very critical time for juniors and seniors to start preparing yourself, start understanding, how this thing really works and how your presentation will make or break you. We understand that everybody's not cut out for college, right? I went and finished college like in my mid adult life, my mid 20s. I didn't finish right after high school. I was blessed enough to have someone to believe in me and actually pay for me to become a certified paralegal. Mike Espy, I used
Wow.
to Mike Espy.
Yeah.
He and his wife paid for me to go to Belhaven College.
Wow.
I connected myself with the right people and they believed in me. But you all have to take this thing seriously, and you all have a lot more resources than we did when we were in school. We had encyclopedias. We didn't have the internet. Um, Encyclopedias don't even exist anymore, right? Is that right, Mr. Piggott? So you guys have so many resources and tools at your fingertips. You all can punch in a job title and look for a job. We had to look through newspapers. We had to drive business to business. And I mean, literally physically walk into these places and ask, are you hiring? You guys don't have to do that. But we discuss social media. So finding your passion and your purpose and what you enjoy doing and turning that into money can be a very long lasting, fruitful career for you. At the same token, you guys have got to do a better job with this social media and using it in a positive light and presenting yourself to the world in a positive light. When we as recruiters go out to start looking for talent, we do comb social media to see if you're going to be a good representative of the company that we're wanting to offer employment to you for. And if you have videos out there of a derogatory nature, or getting to trouble or violence, that will hurt and hinder your chances of getting a job. Even the way that you dress and present. Before I worked for Trustmark, I worked for Nissan, and I had a lot of people that would show up for job interviews with flip flops on, tank tops, and I would politely tell them, "Hey, I'll reschedule you, but you have to come here dressed appropriately," even though it was a manufacturing facility. But your representative is showing up that first day. Like, what you present to me is going to be the determining factor of, hey, do I want to move forward with you as a candidate? I'm going to take you as seriously as you take yourself. And if you rolled
There you
out
go.
flip flops, that means you're not serious today. You're not ready to work. It looks like somebody made you come. I'm going to be honest. As recruiters and as HR professionals, we are judging you from the moment you step through that door. Your behavior, the way you speak, your mannerisms. And I'll share this with you guys also. My very first job, I went to work for Gail Pittman, the pottery
Yeah.
little place back in the day. It was like a manufacturing facility that made different types of ceramics. It was a ceramic factory.
Yeah.
The lady at the temp service was so impressed with how polite I was, how professional. I was 19 years old. I was going to college at night, just trying to figure it out. I was broke. It was rough on me. It was rough on you, girl. But the lady saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and I was very good with computers. Instead of her sending me to the Gail Pittman ceramic facility, she offered me employment in her office working directly for her, and that
Wow.
literally jump started my career in recruiting back when I was 19 years old.
Yeah, and
Um,
I did want to add one thing about Nissan because they are notorious for checking social medias. And then also, we've talked about reading the job description before you show up. If you know you're going to apply for at a manufacturing facility, it says in the job description you're going to have certain things to wear. Everybody that's ever stepped foot in that plant knows you cannot have open-toed shoes. So you're showing that you're not safe from day one. And I would
that's
also add about the derogatory, anything violent with guns or anything. If everything you post is political, no matter what side of the political aisle you're on,
that's right.
companies don't want to deal with that because it's
That's
going to
right.
create controversy in the workplace. You're going to post something that's going to that a lot of people don't agree with, or some may agree, some may not agree. But companies don't want to get caught in controversy. Companies want to make money.
That's
And
right.
I would also add, you as a recruiter, you're probably looking on the security camera to see how somebody is acting in the lobby and how they pull into the parking lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to go back to what Mr. Pygott mentioned about the political arena. So as you all enter the workforce and you start again the real world, two things that we don't discuss in the workplace: politics and religion. You just leave that out of it because people become very passionate about their beliefs, and that's a personal choice. And again, no matter what aisle you sit on of the political arena, your beliefs when it comes to religion, you don't discuss those things because that creates so much dissension within the workplace, and it can create a violent workplace. If you can look up on the internet and see where people have had strong beliefs, bring it to work, and then people end up getting hurt. So no matter what, don't even discuss that on social media because it creates what we call a bias. And before you show up to get the job, you don't want to be judged based on your personal beliefs that shouldn't be involved in the workplace to begin with. And even if it sounds unfair, it's still, again, I want to keep mentioning to you guys, you are entering the real world. You should never share any of that stuff publicly. Keep that in your private life because you don't want people judging you. And there are people that hold the pen. There are people that are influencers and make decisions, and you don't want to be judged on not, everything but your performance, everything but your abilities and your skills. And I want to go back to what Mr. Pygott mentioned about Nissan. Great place to work, great example of if you put forth your best foot, they will meet you halfway. It's a wonderful company to work for. But
Absolutely.
I mentioned the flip flops, and I said, and I should have shared why I wouldn't take you serious as a candidate. In that job description, it tells you what kind of atmosphere and what the facility involves, and you have to have on leather shoes. All of that is mentioned. So if you show up for a job interview and the job description clearly states what you'll be doing on a day-to-day basis, you probably didn't read that job description. And again, we're going to assume somebody made you come and you really don't want a job. You really don't want a
There you go.
career. So yeah, that was a very good point. Thank you for bringing that back, Mr. Pygott. Um, let's see here. I want to, is there anything else you wanted me to touch on?
Well, I want to talk about we've just written cover letters, we
Yeah,
just written
resumes.
resumes, and even
Yes,
if you're in high school, it's like I said, people that know a kid is just out of high school, they're going to know they don't have a whole lot of work experience yet.
yes,
But
yes.
you want to see how well people can communicate because even you could be saying, well, I'm not going to have a job where I'm writing. Well, you'd be surprised. You have to be able to communicate because how you write could be how you talk. And if you got to
Absolutely.
write an email or write a report, a company is going to want to know you're at least going to put forth the effort to write it coherently and legibly.
So, what we look for in resumes and cover letters, and we do internships, we do development associates. And again, Mr. Pygott brought up a great point. We know that you don't have a whole lot of work history. You may have worked at a McDonald's part time, you may have worked at a Wendy's, and you typing legibly Wendy's, your start date, end date, job title, and 4 bullet points of fry cook on the grill. It shows that you can, again, write, you can communicate effectively, and that you're honest. Honesty is extremely important in resumes. Don't fudge it. Don't put things on there that you have not done, because I've looked at over probably 5,000 resumes in the past 20 years. We can pretty much look at a resume and tell if it's truthful or if it looks a little funny, a little fudged. So don't let people influence you. Oh, well, just add this on there. They won't know. Don't do that. Be very honest. We appreciate that. And we're looking for people of integrity. That's at a Nissan, at a Trustmark Bank. It doesn't matter. Integrity goes a long ways. And especially athletes, it shows that you have discipline and that you know how to be on time for things. Any extracurricular activities, that's what we're looking for on resumes for high school students that are entering college or ready to enter the workforce. Just be honest. Don't fudge your resume. And in your cover letter, just share a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself. And again, be genuine. And that's the other thing we look for. Just be genuine, just be truthful, just be honest. And again, integrity will take you a long ways. It's not always about experience. And when you show that you're trainable, you're teachable, you're coachable, we can take you, you're malleable. Someone that's been in the same industry for a long time, sometimes they're not malleable. But with you guys being young, energetic, and ready to enter the workforce, we can mold and shape you and coach you up to where we need you to be. But as long as you show up with some integrity, that is, I can't stress that enough. Always be honest, always be genuine, and always ask good questions. Your level of interest is also going to drive our level of interest in you. You never want to look like somebody made me come here. That's a
Oh man,
quick
tell me
way
about
to get weeded out. If a recruiter, if an HR representative feels like someone made you come here, we don't see you as a long-term investment, because we're investing in you when we're giving you a new skill set and coaching you up to grow your career.
it. Yeah, that's something I get on my soapbox on, and I talk about if you're ever in an interview and they ask, "Do you have any questions for us?" The answer 0% of the time is no. If you can't come up with three or four just generic questions, even if you have if you look great on paper, they're going to think you're not interested. You can ask simple things like, "What type of qualities are you looking for in a candidate?
Yep.
Why is this position open? What type of opportunities for advancement? Things like that.
And
That's
what
not
does a
rocket
day in this
science.
position look like? You can always
Yeah.
ask, what does a day, like, what would a person doing
Yeah.
this do in a day's work, so that they can explain it to you and paint a good picture for you. But take yourself seriously. So many people looking for jobs, applying for jobs, it just doesn't seem like they're focused, and it doesn't seem like they're taking it seriously. If you show that you're determined and that you're looking for growth and you're wanting more and you just have a strong desire to have a good healthy career, most companies, including Trustmark, will definitely give you an opportunity and meet you halfway.
Yeah, and we definitely want to talk about careers at Trustmark. But before I do, I also want to talk about, you know, I'll be the first person to say it, and I've said this publicly. I'll say it online. There's bias toward people just because of the color of your skin. It's not right.
Absolutely.
It's not fair, but we all know it's true.
That's
So,
right.
unfortunately, and there's been a lot of change in the last decades, but unfortunately, you're going to have to go in and show that you're the answer. And somebody may already think because of the way you look or where you come from that you're not good. So it is that much harder and that much more important that you show that you're professional, that you show that you're willing to work, and you can do things. What people don't understand: Canton, Camden, Sharon, very hardworking communities. You can
That's
put
right.
things on a resume that you cut this many yards for this many churches you were working, and some pastor can be your reference. That is amazing how far that will go. If you were supervising 10 kids, if you were, you're the oldest of the siblings and you're babysitting, that's childcare. So you can put a lot of things on a resume that can make you stand out. And then when you
Absolutely.
go in there, the questions they ask you are not going to be a secret. You can probably have a really good idea of what you're going to be asked and be prepared. And then something that's a pet peeve of mine, I think I talked about this with you last time, and I would not have believed it if I didn't see it. When I was working at LSU, we had a woman come in for an interview, and she said, "Hey, I'm here to interview. I'm here to interview." And I said, "Oh, that's great. Who?" And we had several positions. So I was like, "Who are you meeting with?" And she looked me right in the eye and goes, "I don't know. Let me go look in the car." So obviously she didn't get the position. And then another one I wouldn't have believed if I didn't see it. When I was working where I met you, when I was working at the Sprint store, when I was in cell phone sales, 14 years ago, we had a girl come in for an interview. Never thought to ask for directions, never thought to look up where it is, and was 45 minutes late because she said Google Maps took me to the wrong place.
Ill
So,
prepared.
you can call ahead. And I always tell the story, and this is 100% true. But the night before I interviewed at Velma Jackson, I drove here to make sure I could find it. Now, you don't
Absolutely.
have to go, you don't have to go to that length, but you can look and say, if you're not 100% sure, if people ever called you and say, "Hey, I'm interviewing tomorrow. I just wanted to make sure I have the right address," I think that will show a lot of initiative.
That's a good point. So, to Mr. Pike's point, you're bringing up fantastic points. Oftentimes, we will offer employment to the person who is more prepared, shows up on time, is presenting correctly, dressed appropriately, versus someone that has all the experience in the world. It's about being prepared, and you want to be 15 minutes to 30 minutes early for every job interview. If you're 5 minutes early, you're pretty much late. Always show up early, show up prepared. But reading that job description is so important. I interview one out of four people I'll say that I interview, I can tell they have no idea what they're interviewing for. And they may be very
That's unbelievable.
academically, talented. They could have the skill set, but if they are not, that's why I keep mentioning and bringing home about the taking it seriously. You could be the smartest person in the world, but if you're not focused and you didn't read that job description and you are not clear about what you're interviewing for, we're not going to offer you employment because you're just looking for something in the meantime. We always want to feel like if we're investing in you, you're investing in us and you want to work with us long term. So the most qualified is not always the best choice. It's about being prepared. And if someone walked in and said, "Well, yeah, I rode by yesterday just to make sure I had the right location and I was going to make it here on time," they just got 10 check marks leading toward, "Hey, I think I want to hire this guy. I think I want to hire this young lady. She's serious. She's for real about a job." So, yes, always be prepared from every angle. And as far as skin color, that's the world that we live in. A lot of us, like Mr. Pygott, like myself, we judge people based on character, based on presentation, based on behavior versus how you look. But that's just not how it works in the work world. Most companies, if they are a company of integrity, like a Trustmark, we're looking for the most qualified candidate. Now, let me say this: I am a proud African American woman, but at the end of the day, I if I interview a Caucasian, an Indian, and an African American, whoever's the most qualified is going to get that job. I don't believe in racism, but I also don't believe in reverse racism. So just because we share the same skin, don't think that, oh, I got this. No, that's not how it works. We're
There you
going with
go.
the most qualified candidate. So don't go in, with the wrong idea. Go in to put your best foot forward and go in showing that, hey, I'm the person for this job. And you have to believe that confidence is everything. You can't go in timid. You can't go in questioning your abilities. And if an interviewer asks you a question that you can't answer, you know, flip it around and ask them, can they share with you? Well, I'm not sure about that, but can you elaborate or can you enlighten me? That shows that you want to learn and you want to grow. None of us know everything. None of us know everything. Always be open to asking questions to show that you're willing to learn.
Yeah, and then what people fail to realize too is if you hire the wrong person, your job's at stake. So you've got to hire the right person. Now, before I get to their questions, I do want to talk about Trustmark because, like you said,
Yes.
everybody thinks just bank,
Just think of a
just the retail
branch.
branches. And also, we got to give a shout out to a couple of Velma and Canton alums. Renata Bogard, Canton High School alum, district manager over a few branches, and also Veronica
Absolutely.
Walker, who's the branch manager up in Gluckstadt, Velma Jackson alum, both
I
with
didn't
great
know
careers.
that.
Yeah, Veronica
Yeah.
Walker, the Velma Jackson alum, great careers with Trustmark, doing a lot of great
Yes.
things. So that's people from
Yes.
these areas that have had
They're
great careers in
both in
Trustmark.
leadership. They're both in leadership with Trustmark Bank.
Absolutely. Had to give a shout out to both of them because they've both been guests. But
Absolutely.
like you said, there's if you're an IT person, you don't necessarily need an IT degree. If you got the certification and you are interested in cybersecurity, Trustmark could be a great way to get into the IT field. Banking software is not going away. Software developers, cybersecurity. If the server goes down, millions of dollars are at stake. People have to be able to fix it. Tons of salespeople, graphic designers. There are so many great careers at Trustmark that is not just the people that have an
The
accounting degree.
branches.
So just
That's
talk
right.
about some of the great careers at Trustmark because it is one of the best
Absolutely.
places to work in Mississippi.
Absolutely. So I'll share this with you guys again. College is essential for some people depending on their career paths, and some people college is just not going to be the path that they take as far as navigating the work world. Certifications are where it's at nowadays, and about 50% of the workforce. We have in our financial advisors, they take what's called an SIE, where you become a licensed financial advisor. You're licensed to do financial planning, investments. You're licensed to do insurance. So look into certifications. And I'll share this from a branch perspective, relationship bankers. If you have a year of experience working at McDonald's, you can come in and interview to become a relationship banker, which can in turn turn into and grow your career into a lender, a consumer or commercial lender. 1 year of experience working at Wendy's or 1 year of experience working at McDonald's, we can hire you in as long as you present well, speak well, communicate, and show up professionally. You could have a great career. It's not as hard as you guys think. You just have to apply yourselves and do your homework. Again, you have the internet at your fingertips, something we did not have at your age. And
Hey,
we
we
have
barely
also
had cell phones.
we barely had cell phones. I mean, we just didn't have what you guys have at your fingertips nowadays is so valuable. I can't express it enough. It's priceless. We have, like you said, IT. We have a lot, and we do a lot of our IT recruiting straight out of college or those after high school that get certificate. Most of our workforce in IT are very, very young adults, to be honest. And they go on to have a lot of them work remote. They don't even have to leave home. It's a very well paid job. You don't even have to leave your home.
Yeah, and we have one with us who just did our IT program here in Madison County Schools. She's got IT certifications and she hasn't even graduated high school yet.
Oh,
So
wow.
programs like that could get you in the door with a great company like Trustmark. So any of our kids interested in the tech area,
Yes, please.
Trustmark and banking are great ways to get into the field. And Trustmark is all. And one thing I know about Trustmark, you can move up and move into other areas, but
Oh,
Trustmark
absolutely.
really takes pride in developing people if they want to move on to somewhere else. But they say, look, you got your start here. Go on and use those skills that we gave you. So it's not Trustmark's not just going to hold on to their people and not let them go other places. They're all about developing the individual and really making them a great professional?
We have interns and development associates who are recent college graduates that's went into their respective fields depending on their degrees and have been here 15, 20 years and are now executives and in very high level management roles. I mean, they literally came here fresh out of college and they're making way over six figures. We have quite a few
Wow.
success stories like that.
That's awesome. Well, I do have some questions from the students.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
like that they're thinking, these are really good. I'm glad they're thinking about this. And I love this first one. And this is Leah Smith. She's in 11th grade. She's one of our volleyball players, one of our cheerleaders,
Oh,
involved in a
wow.
lot of stuff.
Good
And
deal.
she
Awesome.
also has IT certifications, and she hasn't even gotten to 12th grade yet. But she
Wow.
asked, I'm glad she's thinking about this. She asked before an interview, does the interviewer look at past financial history like a bankruptcy or credit? And could that affect your chances at a job?
All right. So most banks used to run credit. Now, depending on the position and in some lending roles, they may run your credit, but we do not run your credit. We don't. Trustmark does not. Some financial institutions and some companies do, along with your back. It's encompassed in your background check for your criminal history as well as your financial history. But believe it or not, most companies don't nowadays.
Yeah. Uh, and now there are companies that do, so it's still
There
important
are
to pay
companies
attention to
that
that.
do. It is. There
And
are companies
but you
that
know that Trustmark does great for their customers to try to help them with those issues. So if Trustmark has a student checking when you're still in high school, they can get into that. But we'll have somebody talk about that at a later date. I
yes.
like this. This is Cameron Job. He's in 10th grade, one of our football players here, playing the Kenton Tigers Friday night. And he asked if someone wanted to be a recruiter, what are some skills they would need?
People skills. Recruiting chose me. When I entered the recruiting world, it was because of my personality, my ability to effectively communicate, and I have an inviting personality that makes people want to come work with us. So your personality, and if you are interested in school and going to college, getting a degree in HR or business management, all of that falls into the HR arena. But believe it or not, it's having the right recruiting is a personality and being able to effectively communicate with people and understanding what they enjoy doing along aligning with their skill sets. You have to be talented at that balancing act, at seeing their abilities and what they might be good at doing. You have to be able to pick that out. But your people skills are going to make or break you.
Love it. Well, I got two more, and both of these are also football players taking on the Tigers Friday night. This is DeQuavian Black. He's in 10th grade, and he asked, what is the work environment like at Trustmark?
Absolutely amazing. I've been with Trustmark. January will make 3 years I've been here, and I absolutely love it. It's a very family feel type environment. We have a very the culture here is very family like. That's the best way I could describe it. I have recruited a lot of people away from larger banks because at larger banks, they feel like they're just a number and they like the feel of the knowledge sharing. Here at Trustmark, we have a lot of tenured senior people that have been here a really long time that are really good at helping those of us that are kind of new at understanding the history of Trustmark and understanding what to do versus what not to do. And it's just a really good family feel, inviting culture, and we all motivate and drive each other. It's a really feel good environment. I absolutely love working here.
That's awesome. Yeah, and like I said, I agree. One of the best places to work in Mississippi. Now, I got one more, and this is a senior, Jarvis Lyles, and he's about to get into the real world, like you said. And I like this. He asked, when you were in high school, what was the hardest thing you had to learn in order to be a successful candidate and be good at interviewing?
So I had to learn, I shared this the first time I spoke to your class. Where you are today should not determine where you'll be tomorrow.
There you go.
I had very little, we didn't even own a car. Like we were, when I say poor, I mean poor. I had to learn to see beyond my current situation and believe in myself. I was very shy. I was not confident. And once I started to believe in myself and open myself up to the possibilities, and understanding that the only limitations are the limitations I place on myself.
There you
So once
go.
I started to believe in myself, it's like the world just opened up to me and also connecting with the right people, making the right relationships, connecting with people with resources and people that can pull you up so that you can go back and pull somebody else up is so critical. Being around the wrong crowd is going to it's going to hinder where you could possibly go in life. So make sure ultimately surrounding yourself with the right people is going to be a make or breaker for you.
Absolutely. And we're almost out of time. And we thank you so much, as always, for joining us. We'd love to have you on campus in the spring to talk about some of this. But the last thing before we go, you're from Madison County. You grew up in a similar situation of so many of these young people that have fallen by the wayside, that have, become incarcerated or unfortunately have lost their life. But you became extremely successful working for a great company and have such a great message, and doing such great work and really giving opportunities to people that want to make better. So obviously it can be done. And
Yeah.
and I've been just as guilty as anybody. I've actually said, well, somebody's got to do this for me. No, like you said, you got to make things happen. So as these young people get ready to matriculate through high school and into those next steps, what can they do now to prepare to be successful, no matter what their background is?
Make good decisions. Every decision has a consequence, be it whether you think it's a little bitty decision. Some small decisions can have great consequences. So don't be the person that let life happen to you. You make life happen for yourself. Make the best choices in every situation in your life. A lot of people have gotten in trouble just for getting in the car with the wrong person at the wrong time.
There you go.
Every decision has a consequence. Don't ever forget that. And find your passion and let it meet your purpose. That will be a natural motivator. And work won't feel like work. It'll feel like how I feel, like fun. I have fun every day at my job.
That's awesome. Well, I know you got to get back to work. We thank you so much for fitting this in your schedule. My friend, talent acquisition partner at Trustmark Bank, graduate of Canton High School, Veronica Woods. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good luck to you guys.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Talk to you soon, my friend.